Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ushers, Linda's in the back. Bring her down. Front row. Come on, bring her down. Come on, ushers. Let's get the rest of the people from the back seated here. Come on, come on. Bring them down. Bring them down. If you ushers are eating at the concession stand, I'm not paying the ER bill to have your stomachs pumped. I told you that's ptomaine heaven back there. Can't you see the roaches walking around with on strike signs like Dickhead over here? Well, he's on strike for a different reason. Come on. Okay, ushers, bring Mrs. Metcalf down. Put her next to Linda. Front row, front row. You know, front rows for the VIPs. So we got Linda seated. We got Mrs. Metcalf seated. Cal. Come on, Kathy's got to be back there somewhere. All right. Bring her on down. Seat them in between those two gorgeous ladies. VIP, front row. Evidently, maybe Kathy is in the powder room. Anticipation. Broadcasting from the basement storeroom of station WDWL TV, we bring you the star and the pride of the station. Oh, the grumpy old man, me. And, Dickhead's still on strike. Who cares? All right. I see we have the VIP section complete. We have Linda, Mrs. Metcalf. We have Ron and Kathy. And Ron is the luckiest son of a bitch on earth, because he's surrounded by gorgeous women. That's okay. Hey, you got me one more subscriber. We're at 108 now. So, greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Yes. When I logged in this morning, 108. 2 more to go to 110. 2 more. And another microphone. I have decided, since I have so many and I have this new transformer, it's going to be mic a day. New mic a day. Until we go through all the microphones. So I hope this one sounds all right. This is the goofiest microphone out of all of them. This microphone takes a 9-volt battery. I don't know why it takes a 9-volt battery, because the transformer is putting 48 volts into it. I have no reason why, but I had to put a 9-volt battery in it today. 116, holy fried kibasi. Yike. Oh my God, stay out of that, Ron. Don't you go out. Otherwise, Linda is going to show up and kick your ass. You know, Mrs. Metcalf, I haven't been on G2's channel in so long, he probably thinks I unsubscribed. I keep forgetting about him. I don't know why. Because him and I had some pretty in-depth email chats. Matter of fact, I have not been on his channel in the chat since he got the puppy. I haven't seen the puppy. Ron at 116, Mrs. Metcalf at 113. Jesus Christ. I don't know how you people put up with that. I really don't. Man, I give you a lot of credit, especially Mrs. Metcalf moving from Cleveland or the Cleveland area where we're sweating our asses off at 90 degrees thinking, holy shit, it's hot here. Oh, I was just toying around. I know. He's a oh God, he's a wonderful guy. Like I say, him and I had some pretty in-depth discussions. It's just, I don't know why. I think I know why. I'm not getting my notifications. Like, I don't get his, I don't get Stone Vet's, and I've subscribed, unsubscribed, resubscribed. I don't, YouTube is screwing me over. Speaking of screwing me over, how's this microphone sound? Volume okay? Not too high? In here, it's sounding great. One of these days, I'll dig out the carry case that this came in. You would think it was like $1 million. It's one of those like you see in the movies, you know, when they open it up and there's $1 million and they close it and it's one of those really fancy aluminum briefcases. That's what this came in. A small aluminum briefcase with padding about that thick. You would have thought that this thing was maybe encrusted with diamonds or something. I'm trying to figure out what I can use that carry case for, because I'm not going to be putting the mic back in it. Yeah, Mrs. Mitka, I don't know. Like with Stone Vet, I'll get my notifications and then they'll stop. So then I have to unsubscribe, give it a day, then subscribe again. Then I'll get my notifications for a month, and then it goes to shit again. I don't understand what's going on with Useless Tube. Then today, I run out of smokes, okay? So, it was raining today, but not like last night. Jesus Christ, the sky opened up, an ocean fell, and then the sky closed back up. So, I sent a text message to Marianne. Can you run me up to the corner for cigarettes? It's pouring right now. I look out the window. Maybe it's pouring in her driveway. It's not pouring here. I says, okay, no problem. I waited about an hour and a half. Now, mind you, I ran out of cigarettes at 9:30. Right now it's 1:30. I'm kind of going. So, I send her another text message. It's not raining that bad. I don't mind getting a little wet. It's pouring. Okay. Right about now I'm getting the hint. She don't want to leave the house. Okay. Now mind you, the shit box doesn't have brakes. Because that was another thing she was going to do, run me to the auto parts store to get the section of brake line that I need. So, by 4:30, I need a cigarette. So I text her. I'm out of cigarettes. Can you run me up to the corner? I can lend you 6 until tomorrow. I said, thank you. I'll work something out. So, it's only 2 blocks. I fired up the shitbox and drove up, got my cigarettes, and drove home. The nice thing about a manual transmission, you can just about bring it to a complete stop without brakes. So, I got up there safe. I got home safe. And I got my cigarettes. I I have no idea what's going on with Marianne, but I handled it. Then I'm in the kitchen, okay? And I said to my son, hand me the phone book. He laughed, called me a dinosaur, and handed me his iPhone. So, anyway, the spider is dead. His iPhone is broken. And for some reason, he's all pissed off at me. Oh, that's too technical for me, Mrs. Metcalf. That's too technical. Or whoever. That's way over my head. That's all right. We're getting there. We're creeping up. Believe me, I didn't think we'd ever hit 100. Now we're at 108. So your work is greatly appreciated. Now, another item. Okay, Mrs. M. Thanks for popping in. You know, 50 years ago, owner's manuals showed car owners how to adjust the valves. Okay? You open an owner's manual, it literally showed you how to adjust the valves. Today, owner's manuals warn you not to drink the contents of the battery. Yeah, they tell you do not drink contents of car battery. I don't know if that's how far technology has come today, but yeah. 50 years ago, an owner's manual literally would tell you how to rebuild your car. Now the owner's manual tells you not to drink the contents of your battery. recently, I stopped to see if my buddy, who has a brand new Lincoln Aviator, the owner's manual is about 4 inches thick. I asked him, "Have you read that?" He said, "Hell no. It don't tell me anything anyway." I thought he had a Bible in his glove box. Have this big, thick manual that really don't tell you shit. That's all right. I got Discord. I don't even use it. Although I should, now that the birdies have flown away. No more eagle watching until next spring. Although it was absolutely hilarious watching Gizmo take her first flight. Now, her sister, I can't remember her sister's name. Was it Sunny? I can't remember her sister's name. I remember Gizmo. I turned my eagle watching computer on one morning, and the nest is empty except for Gizmo. Her sister had taken several flights, land back in the nest, take off again. So, Gizmo is standing out on a limb, doing the old wing flap, jumping up and down. Okay? She lost her footing and fell. And luckily, she got her wings out and came back up and landed in the tree next door. Gizmo was not ready to take flight. Gizmo fell off the limb acting like an idiot, doing the old oh. It was hilarious. All of a sudden I went, "Oh no!" And then that could have been bad if Gizmo hadn't caught some air. But Gizmo was not ready to fly. But it was hilarious watching her fall off the limb. Lost her footing. Oh! Sunny was the other sister. Okay. Yeah, Sunny had taken flight like 3-4 days earlier, and it was beautiful. When Sunny took her first flight, oh man. But Gizmo wasn't ready and fell off the limb because she lost her footing. And it was like, oh! And then got to the next tree over, and probably had to scrape shit off her butt feathers, because I guarantee when she fell off that limb, she shit herself. Because they're up, like 148 feet in the air. Although, luckily, there was that height. Because when she fell, she was able to catch enough air to save herself. Oh, I've seen a giraffe give birth. Oh my God. When that baby falls, it falls. Man, what a shock you get. Mom gives birth, you fall 47 feet. Yeah, I watched one give birth in the wild. Now, I've seen a couple give birth in the zoo where, they put down about 3 feet of straw to cushion the blow. Whoa! 7-zip. Were they playing a doubleheader? A makeup game for the rainout? Is that what they're doing, Kathy? Game number 2, a makeup game for the rainout game? 7-zip. Wow. Did they stop the game early? They figured 7 runs was enough. Call the game early. Start game 2. That's a hell of a team this year. Boy, those kids are pumped. I'll tell you what. Those kids are pumped. Let's hope they win the second one. Fingers crossed. Outstanding. I'll tell you what, besides those kids being pumped, they got some great coaches. They went to full 6. Okay. Let's hope they're not tired out. We want to see them win the second game now. Got double headers. I remember when they used to play double headers. I remember what they called twilight doubleheader, where the game didn't get over, the second game didn't get over until like 1 in the morning. They don't do that shit no more. No double headers anymore. They ruined baseball. Jeez. Yeah, I remember my grandfather taking me to double headers. we'd be dragging in around midnight, 1 o'clock, and Grandma'd be standing there bitching. They still play double headers? I thought they did away with them. Or the late ones. All right, Kathy, keep us posted. Yeah, my grandmother, she'd be chewing my grandfather's ass out. What are you bringing him home so late for? My grandfather would be like, well, if he's on vacation, he can sleep in. Although she knew I wouldn't. Because as soon as Grandpa was out the door, I was right behind him. Had to get down the West Side Market, get my goodies. Especially if we went down in the morning. I used to get free breakfast. Yeah, you can tell that they've got a good coaching staff because it's very obvious that they work with those kids, and any weaknesses they work on strengthening them up. I remember one Cleveland Indians game. Now, it was the game didn't start until like maybe 5. The game went 16 innings. And finally, Cleveland got a hit and won the game. But 16 innings. That was one hell of a game. I watched that game because it was televised. Nobody was given an inch. It was unbelievable. Yeah, I can imagine, Linda. 11 o'clock, getting dark. Getting dark is dark. And you never know who's around the next corner. But you won. You went home on that. We won high. Better than drugs. Going home on we won high. I remember that game. I think that it's the longest. I don't think there were any games over 22 innings. I think that was like history making. I know 16 innings for Cleveland, was a history-making game. Too bad my grandmother's not around. Boy, she could give me some Indian stats. She she acted like she owned the Indians. But what was strange is never, never went to a ball game at the stadium. My grandfather could get free tickets all the time. She was like, nope. I don't know why she wouldn't go to the stadium. She loved baseball that much that when the game was on, you couldn't breathe. But she would never. And then she didn't like the TV announcer. So she turned the volume off on the TV and turned the radio on. She would watch the game but listen to the radio announcer. I'll tell you one thing. She would have gone berserk when they changed the name. Guardians. Jesus Christ. I know they had to be, politically correct. But couldn't they come up with something close to Indians that wasn't offensive? Guardians. Christ, I would have settled for the eyes. You got the A's, which is short for athletics, but they haven't called them the Athletics in eons. The Cleveland Eyes. Guardians. And then, naming rights. It went from Jacobs Field to Progressive Field. Well, the Jacobs brothers built that stadium. It should have remained Jacobs Field forever. But no, we get greedy. Who wants to kick in maybe 20, 30 million for naming rights? Here's Progressive jumping up and down. Us! No wonder my insurance rates went up. Well, Kaiser didn't have anything to do with it. He didn't have anything to do with that baseball team. Yeah, there's a lot of people happy he's in jail. Except Kimmy. Because he was the only one that bit at her internet invite. When she sent her naked pictures. Which, according to Stone Vet, are like, ugh. Did anybody really listen to anything he had to say? Except, I have a super chat from Glenn Harlow. I wish Glenn Harlow would super chat over here, although I'm not monetized. Not even close. God, I looked at a video the other day from Captain Steve. One video, almost 3 million views. Of course, it's about that plane crash in India. But talk about making some money. Almost 3 million views. Captain Steve gonna get a nice paycheck from YouTube. You know, everybody is still trying to figure out how that one guy not only survived, he walked to the hospital. And at first they doubted that he was on the plane. And they proved it. Seat 11A. He crawled out of that crash. Of course, he's got some nasty burns, but walked to the hospital. Absolutely amazing. Now you know everybody that's flying wants seat 11A, no matter what plane they're on. I want 11A. I always heard the safest seats were back in the tail. Actually, me, I would want to sit inside the black box, because they always recover that undamaged. Yeah, I read a study, and they said, if you're flying, sit in the tail. Because 9 times out of 10, the tail will separate and maybe it'll roll over, spin around. But they say that's actually the safest place to sit. Now they're saying over the wing, where I can't pronounce the guy's name. The sad thing was his brother, I think it was his brother, who was sitting 2 rows ahead of him, didn't make it. course, every news media in the world wants to interview him. Yeah, but they're also saying that the wing spars, that's the strongest part of the plane right there. Well, yeah, those tanks were full to the top, and he still crawled out and walked to the hospital. I can see movie deals, book deals, world tours. Oh, they're going to offer this guy, they're going to be throwing money at him. Every talk show will want to interview him. I could guarantee there's book deals already in the works. Yeah, right, Linda. It wasn't his time yet. I totally believe in that. It was not. There's something, and I'm not talking book deals and this shit. There's something bigger and better coming in his life that he was spared. Now, yeah, they'll be throwing money at him for book deals and movie deals and the story of his life and all this shit, but he was spared because there's something more for him to do. I totally believe that. It's just sad those medical students that were in that building. Not to mention, there were a lot of them in there eating. I really, I feel sorry for him because he's going to be in front of the Indian Aeronautical Board and maybe the NTSB. Boeing is going to want to talk to. I mean, this poor guy. It's going to be nothing but constant reliving that. Because you know damn right well the India Air Board, whatever they like the NTSB and the FAA, they're going to be picking his brain. He don't want to, he's trying to forget that shit. And it's going to be just years worth of testimony. Yeah, you're right, Linda. When the old Grim Reaper shows up, it's not like you can say, hey, tomorrow, please. Nope. That's the one thing you can never stop. When your number gets picked, you're going. Oh, yeah, they've been driving him crazy in the hospital. Yeah, they want as much information now as possible. Because his subconscious mind will start trying to block it out. So yeah, they're picking his brain something fierce, but gee, the guy's in the hospital. Give him a break. But being the only survivor, you know, they they want to know what happened. Well, your number wasn't up, Ron, because you're here. They were actually toying with your number. And then they decided to put the number back. And as soon as you have this next procedure, you're going to feel 200% better, because you're going to have blood flow like you've never had before. And let's hope this takes care of it, and you won't have to be in there again. You're going to feel like a new person, Ron. You're going to feel 30 years younger. You're going to want to run a marathon. You won't know what to do with all that new energy. Oh yeah, getting winded just, walking 20, 30 feet. You're going to feel like a new person. And this should be the last one. And we'll all be rooting for you. And Linda can keep everybody posted. Because after the procedure, I don't want to see him on here for a while. I want him to be taking it easy, listening in, and not commenting. You're supposed to be recovering. So, be forewarned. We only want to hear from Linda. You're not going to come on here until you get the stamp of approval from your doctor. And quit taking them pills late. We're going to buy you a big giant timer. That's like me. I've got it down to a science. I get up in the morning, blood pressure, coffee, pills. Noon, pills. 10 p.m., pills. And every other night, patch. And I follow that religiously. I don't ever deviate. Even if I had somewhere to go, I made sure my meds got taken on time. Oh, that was a read. Yeah, he's been through some hell, I'll say that. Yeah, when something goes haywire in the old brain bucket, that's scary. I've had too many friends that have had something go wrong in the brain bucket. Some of them lucked out and came back 100%, and some of them didn't. It was like my really close buddy, the one that ended up, getting his diabetes out of whack and lost both legs. And then no sooner, I wouldn't say he was 100%, he was actually up walking around on two prosthetics, which it's hard enough to walk around on one. And he was doing really good. As a matter of fact, he was back to repairing computers. And then he ended up with a stroke. They got him into the hospital. They give him that, what the hell is that, TPA or TAT, that kind of miracle drug. Well, I know the pain end of it, Linda. But then after the stroke, he come back about 85%, was back up walking around, couldn't really do much with the computers because he still had a little more faculty to get back. And then his wife called me one morning and said, the middle of the night, he had the big one. By the time EMS got there, it was the shit that he went through. And then to come back from it. So I understand what Ron went through. And dealing with pain sucks, man. You have no quality of life whatsoever, and mine is really starting to suck. I'm still waiting for that appointment with the head of pain management. He's probably avoiding me. Him? I don't want to talk to him. He's a lunatic. Yeah, and? We need to revamp the whole goddamn medical system. The idea is to give someone a better quality of life, which I had, and now they're taking me backwards. And what pisses me off is to do it during summer. The only time I look forward to it gets pretty goddamn bad. I have to farm out my vehicles for repair because I can't do it now. My enjoyment. God, I remember back in the day, pull an engine out of a car, rip it down, rebuild it, drop it back in. Christ, I could change a goddamn clutch in about 2 hours. Crock of bullshit. So, do you get any nasty storm last night? Luckily, ours didn't last long. When it said 45 minutes, it was over in 45 minutes. It's because they're fucking greedy, Linda. They don't care about the patient. They care about the patient's insurance. That's what they care about. That's quite obvious, like with my pain management doctor. He has to see a patient every 12 minutes. So they can jam more money in to every hour. Yeah, remember when that warning come through and it said should be over at 9:45? It was. It was like they shut the rain off. The worst rain we had was while I was broadcasting. When I ended, the rain was almost over. And thank God, I got tired of looking at the basement every 10 minutes. Turn the light on. Every 10 minutes. Turn the light on. Look to the bottom of the stairs where the drain is. Because if water would start to come in, I had to run down and unplug my hot water tank. Because if the water hits those sensors, it shorts that computer out. So after the last freebie computer control, the guys from Ream said, disconnect the wires. That way, if water hits the sensor, it won't short everything out. And then they said, when the water recedes, take that inspection cover, aim a fan, and run the fan for about 8 hours until everything is dry. Then put the inspection cover back, plug the wires in, hit start. Click, click, click. Flame. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I had brand new hot water tank. A month after the installation, the basement flooded. Blew out the computer. Since it was brand new, Ream sent me a new control box. A month to the day, the basement flooded again, blew out my new control box. Well, I'm glad it's former. That's a bunch of crap. Perfect example, Linda. Money, 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 money. I hope your current primary care is a little more understanding. You know, when we got the second flood, it was almost to the minute. The first flood knocked out the control box at 7:05 because I was down in the basement standing in water. The next month, the same day, the second control box got knocked out at 7:15. 10 minutes later than the previous month. Oh, I believe it. I believe it, Linda. That's obvious. To pull that kind of shit, I'm not paying overtime. I bet she didn't turn down the insurance money. That's why I say we need the British system over here. Not to mention they're years ahead of us. God, I watched a British surgery documentary last night. Of course, they do heart valve replacements through the groin. They don't even open anybody up. This guy needs a new heart valve? Okay. That's how advanced they are. And they do it on outpatient on top of it. They put a heart valve in like they're doing a stent. Well, you're lucky he didn't break something. You're lucky he didn't hit the infotainment center. Oops. Probably did more damage to his hand than anything. But that's what the whole American medical system has turned into. Greedy bastards. Money, money, money. That's like my cousin was a pediatrician. Before he retired, the last year before he retired, his malpractice premiums were $500,000 a year. And he never had one malpractice claim. $500,000 a year for malpractice insurance. And then they wonder why everything's so fucking expensive. Can't afford to get sick. Period. I can almost imagine what the bill was for my blood work. Probably outrageous. how do they go about replacing the battery? They have to open him up. Yeah, but could he do that? They were showing something. I came in the middle of the program. Maybe it was a pacemaker over in Britain. And theirs are rechargeable. And once a week, when the patient gets ready for bed, it's like there's a little magnetic disc, and he hooked himself up to the charger and recharged what I think it was a pacemaker. We don't have nothing like that here. Yeah, there was, like, right under the skin, there was a magnet. And he had this little, it, it looked like a bottle cap with a wire, and just click. And if he wasn't charged and happened to roll over, it just popped off. But here, everything's got to be replaced. That's like they keep, talking this fucking morphine pump. Well, the battery only lasts a year. So that means every year I'm looking at a surgery to replace the fucking thing. I don't think so. But how did they change Mom's battery? Did they have to do a surgery? Oh, all right. Then that's not bad then. But it's still a pain in the ass, you know. Any any cut can get infected, even though it was under the skin. It's still another procedure. and you're risking a possible infection. That's one of my biggest arguments. I've got a depressed immune system to begin with. I don't need no surgery. Thank you. Christ, I could get an infection getting a scratch. Because it's bad enough. I got goddamn hand sanitizer everywhere. Would they close it up with a couple of butterflies? Yeah, little super glue, little butterfly. Although I'll tell you, it's amazing how many procedures they do outpatient today. Absolutely amazing. Like my last hernia, that was outpatient. I couldn't believe it. The doctor come in and said, "How you feeling?" I said, "Oh, okay. All right, you can go." Get the fuck out. Okay. Yeah, super glue. Surgical super glue. The only difference is the surgical is highly sterilized. Otherwise, same shit. Same exact shit that you buy at the homeless depot. Except it's super sterilized. That's why in my first aid kit, there's a couple of tubes of super glue, just in case. Yeah, well, you're a little more serious case, Linda. You're not outpatient level. They got to keep a close eye on you, which it's a pain in the ass to be admitted, but they're crossing the T's, dotting the I's. I don't think you would want yours outpatient. Yeah, you need a little more specialized care. which is good. They're doing it that way rather than, boot you out right away. They want to make sure you're good to go. Which in your case, better safe than sorry. Let's do it right. Not to mention they're making more money off of you. Oh, yeah. Hopefully the weather will be better tomorrow because I have my delivery coming from the auto parts store. Oil, filter, brake line. Linda, it's the theater, not the OR, the theater. They're taking you to the theater. I never forget the first time I heard that. The patient was in the emergency room. They, quick, take him up to the theater. What? You're going to take him to watch a movie? You just stabilized him. Yeah. Take him to theater number 2. And that's what they did. Took him to theater number 2. I don't know why they call their operating rooms theaters. All right, 2-zip. Fingers crossed. Don't tire out, guys. You played that first game. Come on. Keep that fire going. What a team. Man, what a team. I think they play 6. 6 innings or 7. I can't remember. Kathy mentioned it once before. 2 more innings to go. I think they got 2 more innings. I think she said they play 6. It's top of the 4th. I hope they can keep the steam going. Because with them playing 2 games, we don't want them to run out of steam now. Yeah, that's another thing. What's the time cutoff? So they got two more to go. All right, fingers crossed. Keep that fire going. Keep them boilers cranking. Don't let them get no hits. It's nice getting the score. Let's hope they can hold out two more innings. Well, that's it. No more innings on the coffee. Man, I just can't get comfortable tonight. God damn it. See, it sucks when it rains because it makes it worse. Usually this chair is comfy, but not tonight. God damn. Damn it. I'll have to check the weather before. Although I think tomorrow is supposed to be shitty too. Although my little weather thing says 65 and mostly sunny. I hope so. I gotta get that brake line on that car, that shitbox tomorrow. I got stuff to do. I gotta go grocery shopping. Especially considering Mark's. They have large Eggland's Best. 2 dozen for $5. I gotta go up and get some eggs. The cheapest I've seen eggs in months. And Eggland's Best are pretty good eggs. They're usually expensive too. So I say, 2 dozen large for $5. I'll be getting me some eggs tomorrow, if I have breaks. I read the sale ad too fast. My buddy's wife sent me a text message. Get some Eggland's Best eggs. 2 for $5. I don't know how I didn't see that in the sale ad. I must have looked at it too fast. Yep, don't see nothing. I gotta get some more ginger ale too. I'm down to my last 2 liter. Have to make a grocery list first thing in the morning while I'm having my coffee. Then go, well, let's hope my delivery gets here early. I could see the parts delivery guy going, this ain't no repair garage. No, it's not. But if you buy over $35, you get free delivery. And I just squeaked by. Before tax, it was like $37.11. After tax was 40.14 or something like that. But free delivery. I'll have the truck all jacked up and ready to go. Because it should be a real quick job. Because when the line popped, I was in the driveway. So I didn't get any air in the system. I immediately went out, topped off the reservoir, and I looked, and no dripping. So tomorrow, real quick, take out the broken line, put the new line in, just gently tap the brake pedal to get fluid to go through that new line. Then wheel cylinder. So I don't have to bleed the whole fucking system. And then I'll have brakes. Although later on I gotta put rear shoes on it. I think they're down a bit. I wish I could free up the damn emergency brake cable. It sucks not having an e-brake. And then next week, my neighbor will take the RAV to his shop, get that back on the road, and then maybe later on in the summer, I'll have the Passat. And that way I can work on that, get all the bugs worked out of it, and then have three vehicles that will make Progressive real happy. Hello, Progressive? I need to add another vehicle. Oh boy! Don't get all excited. Liability. Oh. All right, what is it? A VW Passat. Oh boy! I hope I get that thing. I like the color green. Green with a black cloth interior. And a 5-speed. Yeah, it's kind of a dark metallic green. It should rub out real nice. I'll actually have a car I can wax. Oh. I have all kinds of neat shit to put on it. Mainly my real fancy Cobra CB. I'll be glad to have that RAV4 back. Believe me. I miss that little car. Not to mention it kind of pisses Marianne off seeing it sitting there, considering it was hers. And then I hope I'm about that far away from sealing the deal on the Passat. And get that over here and tinker with it, figure out where all the electrical shorts are. That's the major problem with it. The sunroof has got an electrical short, and the rear window has got an electrical short. And there's, I don't know, some little gremlins in it. You know, once I started driving that RAV4, I finally understood why Marianne loved to drive that car. Even though it's a small car, it feels big. That's the interesting thing. When you're in it, it feels bigger than what it is. Plus, I like that big back door. And I'll tell you what, when it runs, little hot rod. Now, in a way, I can really understand why she didn't want to give it away. But she didn't think it would make the trip down to Georgia. Mainly because it's got 215,000 miles on it. But Toyotas, shit, they run forever. If you take care of them, which she did. I told her 215,000 just getting broken in. God, my buddy had a Camry. It had like 389,000 miles on it and was still going strong. And then some idiot racing through a shopping center took a wide corner and poof, that finished my buddy's Camry. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that little car has a big feel. It's strange. I can't explain it, but when I get in it, it feels bigger than what it is. And comfortable, too. Very comfortable to drive. Plus, it's a 5-speed. Because she just raved about that thing. And then once I started driving it, I kind of understood. Yeah. I mean, when I told the Toyota mechanic, I was a little leery of it because I know one of the mechanics that works for the Toyota dealer. And I says, oh man, it's got 215,000 miles on it. He goes, it's just breaking in. Don't worry about it. I'm like, okay. And it run like it had 15,000 miles on it until the fucking fuel system went bonkers on me. That's why I can't wait to get it running. And my neighbor, out of the kindness of his heart, he says, hey, I'll give you a deal. I'll take care of you. We'll get you running again. So, as much as I don't want to spend the money, at least it'll be in, a certified repair shop. The guys will know exactly what to take care of, and they'll fix it, get it going again, and I'll have it back. So it pays having a neighbor that has a towing and repair service. ASE certified. With a very good Better Business Bureau rating. I checked. Oh. Shh. The window's open. He might hear me. Man, you ought to see the tow truck he brought home the other night. Holy shit. Big. Big, big, big. Really big. Barely fit in the driveway. Brand new. Still had the temp tag in the window. Although, I'll tell you what, he don't keep stuff long. He's constantly renewing his fleet. Man, the flatbed he brought home a couple weeks ago, oy, oy, oy. That had to cost a big buck. Must be nice to be making that kind of money. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to pay the mortgage on either one of them trucks. Yes! A doubleheader and they won both. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. See you tomorrow, Kathy. Enjoy the after game party. And tell the guys Grumpy's proud of them. Nothing like winning a doubleheader. What a team. To have enough steam to win that second game. Yes. Outstanding. Good for them. Talk about happy. Boy, they're probably 3 feet off the ground right now. Come on down, guys. How cool. Speaking of, I think it's that time. My back is killing me. Gotta play a little outro and hit the bed a little early tonight. Nothing like ending the show with the winning doubleheader. Puts a big smile on my face, and I don't even know the team. And with that, thanks for another wonderful evening. Linda, take care. And Kathy, if you're still listening, take care. Glad to hear the good news. And we will meet again tomorrow night. Ron, take care, buddy. Have a good evening.